What up, YouTube? It's your boy Ellie back at it, man. I'm in my fourth month now. My hair is coming in nicely. Temples are still there. Hairline's intact. Everybody always wants to see the donor. My donor actually, surprisingly, is healing up really nicely. I went through a lot, but it's coming together. If you can see my donor. Sorry. But that's the donor. Anyways, a couple things I want to talk about. I get a lot of messages from people, and they ask about going over there. Some guys on the fence, and a lot of people say they hear bad things about Asli Tarcan over harvesting and this and that. Listen, this is just from me to you. Whoever wants to go and have a procedure done, it's number one. It's keep in mind it's a procedure, right? Number two, you have to set a realistic goal for what you want out of it, right? And you have to also set your goal or a plan in effect if it doesn't work, right? If it doesn't work, what that means is if you get over harvested, what are you going to do? If your hair doesn't grow back how you want it to grow, or just different things, you have to have a realistic, you know, thing to yourself. You have to kind of something within yourself. You have to see, like for me personally, when I was balding originally, I was shaving my head down to accommodate my baldness, right? So it's that scalp micropigmentation. I looked decent bald, so I could always go back, or if I got over harvested, I could, adjust my fade, fade my hair. It's different, but you have to set a realistic goal for what you want. It's not a miracle surgery. Nothing is foolproof. You gotta really, when you're doing this thing, you gotta research what you want, not just the clinics you do, but just what you want for yourself, and what's your plan. Like, what if it doesn't get the way I want, or what if this and that, and because your hair and my hair is different, everybody's going to be different, and us as African Americans, some of us keloid and scarred badly, so that's what you got to take into consideration too, right? So we got to start putting in perspective, what do you really want out of this? So, what's your goal? My goal was to have a hairline, back crispy. I didn't have a lot of hairs transplanted here, so I knew I would have to derma roll and do some other things, but I was cool with that, right? So you have to set a realistic goal for yourself, what you want to happen, what you want out of the procedure. You can watch all the videos you want, but if you don't know what you want and what you're willing to accept and put up with for your hair, you know what I'm saying? That's another thing too. What are you willing to do if you don't get what you want? You have to have an alternative plan, right? Looking back, me personally, I wish I would have got microscopic pigmentation just prior to getting the hair transplant started, and only for me, just because maybe the appearance of more density. I don't know, but I see people. Some people have 2 and 3 surgeries. It's just before you go and let someone start poking around in your head, you need to really sit down. Like, even if you got to draw your little whiteboard out and your pros and cons, or what you want to happen, what you want to see. And like I said, people are constantly bashing Ashley, and that's cool. I don't. It worked for me and worked for some other people. I'm not. I don't get paid by them or anything like that. But I don't know, man. Whatever it works for you, just sit down, be realistic about what you want and what your expectations are, right? Because if not, you're gonna be disappointed. And just because my hair is growing, this other guy's hair is growing, this guy might have got patchiness in his hair. You don't know how everybody's gonna do it differently. So you can't look at that. Unfortunately, the one thing that those people, that they come with crispy lines, but some people might not get a crispy line. I don't know, but you need to sit down and, like I say, have a realistic goal of what you want and what you can live with. Because like for me, I can live with this if this is all I get here. I'll start adjusting these sides down to accommodate, because as you can see, it still looks like a shadow, right? So I already know what I'm gonna do, and this is what I'm telling you. You have to know what you want to do, what you can do in the event that things don't go the way you plan. And I think if you go into a hair transplant procedure like that, with that thought process of a backup plan or a fail-safe plan or whatever, I think you won't be let down as much as people are letting themselves down, because their expectations are really high and unrealistic. I think, just my opinion, you have to set realistic goals and time frames and things. It's just like working out with your body. You have to set realistic goals and things that you want. So just take your time, man. Choose it. You can jack yourself up. You can get good results, but make sure you just know what you want and what you expect and what you can live with, because it's not the clinic's fault if you rush into something because me and other people and this guy looks good. He got a good hairline. His hair came back in the top, and I'm gonna get the same thing. That's just not the case. You know what I'm saying? Some guys, their hair don't start growing for after a year, and see a lot of guys when they don't set a realistic time frame, what they're doing is jacking up their donor areas as well as their transplanted hair, because they can't. They're rushing, so you start cutting on your hair. Well, the hair's not gonna. Some guys don't get results after a year. So I'm just telling you, know what you want. Even if you don't all the way know, have some ideas of what you're willing to do, right? And in the event you don't get what you want, that's all I'm saying, man. Y'all take it easy.